Hello students, hope you all are doing well. So in today's class we will be learning graphical representation of motion. Okay. Now graphical representation means till now we have studied about distance, speed, uniform motion, non-uniform motion. So in today's class we will try to represent distance traveled by any object in terms of graphs. Okay, so let's see how can we do that. We have already discussed in case of uniform motion and non-uniform motion how to draw graphs. So graphical representation of motion. So the first topic is distance time graph. Now distance time graph means in the x-axis you have to take the time and in the y-axis you have to take the distance. Okay. So the first point is an object at rest. Now when an object is at rest, you know that it's if suppose the time is 1 minute, 2 minutes, 3 minutes, 4 minutes. So here the time is passing on, but there is no motion of the object. That means the distance traveled by the object is 0, or the displacement is 0. So in that case, how can we denote that with a graph? Let's see that. So in that case we will draw the displacement axis in the y-axis, or the distance in the y-axis, and the time in the x-axis. Now see, here I have marked 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So these are the times, and this is the distance 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and so on. Now suppose in any case the object has travelled a certain distance of say 4. In time 0 the object is at a distance of say 4 meter or say 3 meter. After time 1, time 2, time 3, there is no motion of the object. That means the object is at rest now. So how can we denote that with the graph? Let's see. So for any object at rest, the graph will be a straight line, also a parallel line to the time axis. See, here the time is 1, but still the distance is 3. Time is 2, distance is again 3. Time is 3, distance is again 3. So with passing time, the distance remains the same. That's why it's a straight line parallel to the time axis. So if the question comes, what is the nature of the graph? The nature of the graph is a straight line parallel to the time axis. Okay. So in our case too, we will deal with for uniform motion. You have already seen it in uniform motion. We have already discussed it in our previous class how the graph will be. So let's again recap once. So again we have taken the time axis in the x direction and the distance axis in the y direction. So in case of uniform motion means when an object travels equal distance in equal interval of time, the object is said to be in a motion which is called the uniform motion. That means the distance travelled is always equal with the time interval being also equal. So in that case, the graph will be a straight line, and the nature of the graph is a continuous straight line. Nature of the graph is continuous straight line. Now in next case we will see for non-uniform motion. So for non-uniform motion, we have seen previously that time and distance are in axis x and y respectively, and the graph will be in increasing direction. Increasing direction means with time the distance travelled is unequal. So the time is always equal, but the distance travelled is unequal. Next, if the speed is increasing or the body is accelerating, the speed accelerating means this increasing of speed. Okay. So when the speed increases, let's see how the distance time graph looks like. So the distance time graph will be a curved line upward for increasing speed, and for decreasing speed or deaccelerating body, or you can say a retarding body. You can say deaccelerating body, or you can say a retarding body. Both are same. The graph will be a downward curve. see the curve here is downward. Any downward curve means the body is in deceleration or retardation, and upward curve means the body is in acceleration. Now, very important point, the slope of the distance time graph gives the speed. Now, the importance of distance time graph is that the slope of the distance time graph will give you the speed. When we do when we solve some problems, we will see how to find speed from the distance time graph. Now, what does the slope mean? The slope means, we have already studied it in maths. So the formula for slope is y2 minus y1 by x2 minus x1. Now here, see, we have drawn a graph here. This is your time axis and this is your distance or displacement axis. Now we have taken uniform motion, that is a straight line. Now here at this point I have marked a distance, a time x1 and another certain time x2. Here the distance is y1 and at time x2 the distance is y2. Now the formula for slope is y2 minus y1 by x2 minus x1. So we have to take this point, whatever the marking is here, we have to take it y2 minus y1 by x2 minus x1. Now you see this x2 minus x1 part. This x2 minus x1 part is basically your delta t. Delta t means change in time. So x2 minus x1 means final time minus initial time, that is the change in time, how much time is required. And y2 minus y1 means the change in displacement or the change in distance. Okay. So the slope will be y2 minus y1 by x2 minus x1, that is delta d by delta t. Delta means very small change. If the change is very small, we denote it by delta. Okay. D2 by delta d by delta t. So slope, as we know, will give the velocity. So v is equal to delta d by delta t. Now delta d means very small change in distance or displacement, and delta t means very small change in time. So velocity is coming here as delta d by delta t means change in displacement by change in time. Wasn't that the definition for velocity? Yes, that was the definition for velocity. We have studied in our previous class that velocity means change in displacement by change in time. So see, from the slope of the distance time graph, we can get velocity of any object. So in our in our next class, we will study about velocity time graph, different kinds of velocity time graph. Till then, have a nice day. Stay safe. Stay at home. Thank you.